Hello everybody, my name is Larx and welcome back to Let's Play Dream Daddy. Last where we left off, we went on a date with Hugo and helped him chaperone his middle school class with the field trip going to the aquarium. And it was an adventure, to say the least. So, we're going to be going on another date with another dad. But, before we do that, we got another notification from Craig. So let's find out what Craig wants. Hey buddy, so I have a favor to ask. Robert invited me over for dinner. And I know it's kind of a faux pas to invite another bro, but I've known the guy for years and I still can't get a good read on him. I know it's going to be super awkward if I go by myself. Will you please come with me? He sends like a lot of emojis. I love food. I especially love food that's free. And I don't know why you're so sweaty over cooking, but sure. Yeah, dude, I'm down. Thank you! I really hope that's a sweat of relief. Alright, let's eat that dinner, bruh! Yes, it's okay to cry if you're feeling sad. Yes. That doesn't sound too bad. I could definitely go for free food. But why is Craig being so apprehensive? Does he know something about Robert that I don't? I hurry up and reply before my dad brain can work itself into a paranormal spiral. Yeah, dude, I'm down. Thank you! Craig and I decided to meet up before heading over to Robert's place. Craig's waiting on my porch, bottle of white wine in hand.
Hey!
Larx, boy am I glad to see you. Likewise, man. Classy of you to bring wine.
Nice.
Oh, it's not wine. It's sparkling apple cider. Robert literally has a wine cellar, so I think he's good. Wow. Or at least I think he has a wine cellar. I'm generally unsure if he was telling the truth or not. I can never tell with him. Thank God it's not just me. I'll never know.
Oh.
He's so deadpan about everything. I usually just laugh it off, but man, that guy's an enigma. We start walking over to Robert's house. Does Robert even know how to cook? I have sincere doubts about whether he even knows how to shave properly or iron his shirts. I feel like you learn to cook after you learn those two first.
Hey!
One time I saw him grab a hot dog from a trash can. I mean, it was at the very top of the trash can, like sitting above it, but still, if he were on trial, I think the jury would define that as in the trash. In his defense, I've definitely considered grabbing food from the top of my trash before.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I think we all considered it, but the difference is that Robert actually did it. True. Maybe he's the enlightened one. Maybe we're holding ourselves back. We arrive at Robert's house and ring the doorbell, but the doorbell won't chime. Must be broken. Craig knocks on the door a few times. Since when does Robert have a dog? I don't know. That's weird. I can hear Robert just inside. 1 second. This is uncharted territory, Larx. Well, if he's the one making barking noises and there is no dog. Don't say that. We're not even inside yet. Finally, the door opens. Robert looks a little surprised to see me. Larx. Didn't know you'd be tagging along. Did Craig not tell Robert I was coming? Come on, Craig. I can leave if there's no...
Nice.
No, it's fine. Come on in. We enter Robert's living room, which is surprisingly really nice. Super messy, but still nice. Make yourselves at home. We can still hear barking from the other room. I didn't know you have a dog, Robert. Oh yeah, that's Betsy. I had to put her up when guests are over. She'll calm down in a bit.
Hmm.
What kind of dog is she?
Hmm.
Pit bull. Rescued her from a dog fighting ring a few years back. She hates strangers. If I let her out right now, I'd probably have to take you both to the ER.
Hmm.
Craig and I make eye contact. He raises an eyebrow at me. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Anyways, dinner should be ready in a minute. Hope you guys like aso buko. Robert leaves the room, presumably to go to the kitchen. Craig leans in and whispers. Was the dog fighting thing real or was he kidding? I don't know.
Nice.
What's asobuco? I don't know.
Hmm.
Did he make up that word? Osobuco? In front of me, we can only assume so. We sit in silence for a second, taking in Robert's living room. Are we about to get sawed?
Oh.
Nah, usually you wake up in those situations. We voluntarily walked into this one.
Hmm.
Robert finally walks into the living room carrying 3 paper plates of steaming food like a waiter. I don't have a dining table. Don't trust them. So we're eating here.
Oh.
Also, I don't have real people plates. Hope that's okay. Robert sets plates in front of us on the coffee table. I still can't tell what it is. Looks like meat, maybe? Lots of sauce. I can make out some vegetables. I think that might be rice, but it could also be pasta. Guess there's only one way to find out. I take a bite.
Hey.
Oh my god! I take another bite. The medley of flavors in this dish is amazing. The meat is so tender and the risotto, I think that's what it is so creamy.
Hmm.
Robert, this is really incredible. You cooked this?
Hmm.
And I fished it out of a dumpster behind a restaurant. Or at least I think it was a restaurant.
Dude.
Can you believe people just throw this stuff away? I almost gag.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I look over at Craig, who looks wary but still has his mouth full. He gives Robert a thumbs up. Glad you like it.
Oh.
Where'd you learn how to cook like this? Worked at a restaurant in Spain for a hot sec. Is he messing with us? I decide to play along. You lived in Spain? After I dropped out of college, I went backpacking through Europe, crashing on couches, sleeping in hostels, wherever. Totally broke. Worked a couple of odd jobs wherever I could to scrape together some cash.
Hey.
One night, I made dinner at this little restaurant just out of Madrid. I lost my money on booze the night before.
Oh.
I'm in the middle of ditching when the manager catches me and puts me to work in the kitchen.
Huh.
Me a job. Why not, right? I started living with some distant relatives on my mom's side. Over the course of 2 years, I worked my way up from busboy to sous chef. Learned a lot. Craig and I wait for the punchline. What night watchman did he swindle to get back to the States? Who did he con in a game of poker in the back room of Speak Safe for Safe Passage in the crew quarters of a cargo ship?
Oh.
Anyway, I still love to cook. I don't know what's real anymore, but this food's so good, I kinda don't care. That's amazing.
Huh?
It really is. To be totally honest, I wasn't exactly expecting gourmet cooking here, especially not served on paper plates.
Huh.
I don't care about presentation. If the food is good, it should speak for itself. This oso buso is screaming for itself.
Oh.
And paper plates. Paper plates are just as good as regular plates, if you double them up.
Hmm.
Hey, is it bad if I ask for seconds?
Mm-hmm.
Help yourself. The same room for dessert. I made lemon berry savorin.
Oh.
Well, aren't you just full of... Craig looks over at me.
Hey.
Surprises! Robert winks. You bet I am. You can come over for dinner anytime.
Hey.
Craig.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go get seconds. Me too. After consuming way more osobuso than my body could handle, and then really ensuring a later food coma with a generous serving of whatever savorin was, Craig and I decided to head out. Thanks for coming. I'm making an attempt to be more social. Well, we're always happy to stop by if you want company. Especially if there's also Buso involved. Also Buko involved. Aww. Look at Robert.
Welcome. You've got dads.
So proud of you, Robert. Alright, so who are we going on today's date, you might ask? Well, I think today we are going to hang out with Damien. Damien Bloodmarch. How do you do? I finally decided to join this information superhighway. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I will try my best to understand. I love long strolls through graveyards and spend time with my son. If you would ever like to chat about the latest in Victorian fashion, the inevitability of our own demise, or black cats, please send me a letter. Oh, Damien. On a Friday night, you are most likely to listen to true crime podcasts while I taxidermy my newest specimens. If you had one thing to take with you on a desert island, what would it be? A coffin. What are your turn-ons? Pronouncing bosom correctly. What did you want to be when you grew up? A bat. Oh my god. What's your favorite movie genre? Foreign art house horror. What's your ideal date? It's night. We are at an industrial dark wave club in Berlin. The music drums to the beat of our hearts. Oh. What do you never leave home without? An upside down cross. I spent a lot of time thinking about mortality salience. Alright, well, let's give Damien a message. Damien seemed really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get to know him a little better. I navigate to Damien's dad book page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a minute before I see that Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. And typing. Man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee and the computer finally dings. Larx, I must confess my excitement to be receiving your kind letter for, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in as a gentlemanly manner as I would have liked. Oh, whoa, there's more. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, I do. Yours humbled, D. Bloodmarch. I stare at the screen and reread the letter several more times. Hey, Amanda. Can you help me with something?
Ugh.
Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. Ew. No. Can you interpret this for me?
Oh.
I turn the computer to Amanda, and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now? Oh, totally. This is the new hot new thing. See, kids got over saying LOL and LMAO or whatever, and decided that what they needed to do was bring it back to the 1800s. So, what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land.
Huh.
Or our dowry. Or... So you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like, the first 5 pages, then I read a review of the movie. Still gotta be, though. Great. So what do I say to Damien? I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard. Sure thing, dude. Regards.
Yeah.
Larx. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor? Estate? The Gothic architecture looms above the other homes in the cul-de-sac. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for a doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one. I pull the large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back, and a hollow sound echoes throughout the house as I strike it against the door. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of whom I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? Where's Damien? Larx, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. What's with the door slamming shut? Oh, sorry, there was a draft. And the door creaking open when I knocked? I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings? I like oil paintings. Right. Right. Please, let me show you around. Okay. Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlor again for some reason. This is one of the older homes on the block. Yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped with the amenities of any modern dwelling. We walk past a door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenage years are. Onward, onward. There's more to see. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. And this is the library. Sunlight streams in from floor to ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly really proud of this room. Pick up a book, look out the window, look at the butterflies, pick up a book. Well, let's look at the butterflies, because we did see that last time when we got his package. I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. You did. Not that long ago. I'm concerned I would stick the pin right through my finger. Ah, the pinner's gambit. Is that a thing? No. Let's pick up a book. You know, Larx, in the Victorian era, there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought the more tawdry novels would encourage youth into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random, examine the worn cover. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read aloud. Naruto struggled against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looked up at Sasuke. Sasuke smirked, unbuttoning his ninja pants. Excuse me? Does Damien have Naruto fanfiction in his library?
Oh my.
Okay, I think that's enough. Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. That's a rare book from my private collection. Uh-huh. Okay, Damien, I see you. Alright, let's look out the window. I walked to the window and am greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Craig on his lawn. He's doing push-ups with his daughters on his back. Of course he is. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Damn. Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out of full-length windows? Wait, really? No. But Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. Please, will you join me for tea? I followed Damien to his sitting room where finger foods have already been set up upon a beautiful, tiered silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high-backed chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having a high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this.
Oh.
Damien smiles to himself. What?
Ah.
It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact, the high refers to both the latter time of day that the working class had to enjoy tea, and the height of the tables on which they served. Oh. My dear friend, we're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Are there a lot of goths in Maple Bay? I like your coat. Let's compliment his house. Your home is really impressive, and it actually really is. It's actually really pretty. It seems like you've really put a lot of work into this place.
Huh.
Thank you. No one's ever complimented my home before. Hell, I could barely get matching salt and pepper shakers in my place. And look at what you've done. I'm kind of jealous. That's very generous of you to say. What got you so interested in goth stuff?
Oh.
Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city?
Huh.
Sorry? Did you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. You're serious? Of course. But it's, you know, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. Seriously? I love to see a marching band. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermal animals grew into sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and culture of those who came before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of the tea. I can acknowledge that there were many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and to try to live a life that strictly aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws, and love it all the same. Tell me, Larx, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do, but I don't know if I care about anything the way you care about this stuff. Well, I love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about the things they're passionate about is intriguing, and, quite honestly, rather attractive. Please, do tell me about your hobbies. Quick, sounds sophisticated. I like watching soap making videos on the internet. Love me some word juggles. I learned how to juggle once. I learned how to juggle once. Gravity is an interesting thing, and I believe that juggling is the pinnacle of humankind's interaction with the gravitational arts. Oh, he didn't like that. I thought that would be funny.
Hmm.
Interesting. I started out with scarves, but now I can comfortably juggle balls. Juggling pins is currently out of my purview.
Hmm.
Damien looks at me quizzically, but shrugs it off. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches.
Ah.
Come, I have one more thing to show you. Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty. Damien takes me around the back of his home, where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it, and butterflies flit lazily through the air.
Hmm.
My garden. It's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Ah, thank you.
Ah.
Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously.
Ah.
You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings.
Huh.
Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message.
Hmm.
Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous bright orange flower off of a vine.
Oh.
Lilium bulfurum, the orange lily. What do you think this one means? My loins are ablaze. Thou art the Titus. 3 cheers for sweet revenge. Um. 3 cheers for sweet revenge. I don't know how to answer any of these. My loins are ablaze.
Hmm.
The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Well, and that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. What's your favorite type of flower? Honeysuckle and sunflowers. Okay, so with that previous one, I had no idea how to answer that. I guess it was maybe the revenge one, but I didn't know if that would sound right. But I guess it would make sense if that was, because orange being like fire. I honestly did not know how to answer that question. I was kind of confused. Snapdragons, honeysuckle, or sunflowers. I actually don't know what snapdragons are. Don't be angry if you do know what that is. Honeysuckle or sunflowers. I actually really like sunflowers. I think sunflowers are really pretty. So I'm gonna say sunflowers. They remind me of sunshine, and then you can eat the seeds as a delicious snack. What a practical choice. My stomach grumbles. Aw, man, now I want sunflower seeds. I'll have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. Aw. He would put together a bouquet for me? Nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of his beautiful flowers. Suddenly, a phone rings. Oh, Larx, will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. Go for it. Damien smiles and walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. It actually really is. I really like this picture. This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle.
Fix that guard.
What? Um. Uh.
Goal.
Oh, that was like a random mini game, like right out of nowhere. Jeez. Whew, that was a close one. Oh, here comes Damien. He looks upset.
Ah!
Lux, my sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything alright? Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucien. What's wrong? He appears to have, well, his teacher needs me to come to the school post-haste. Do you need help? Oh, no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together.
Huh.
You're right. This is one of Lucien's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go. Damien and I walk into the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo. Hey, Damien. You're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Wow, whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the "my kids are in trouble" rodeo.
Huh.
What is it this time? This, Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into a small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting up from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of creepy basements. We find another teacher in a boiler room tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucien and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucien has a bloody nose. Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around.
Huh.
What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucien tried to kill me.
Oh my.
The room falls silent. I was not trying to kill you, you dumbass. I was trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was wine down here. You tricked me.
Huh.
Whoa. Wait a second. Lucien, did you try to cask of Amontillado, Ernest? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turned to Damien and whispered to him. What's cask of Amontillado?
Huh.
It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lures him down to the cellar with a promise of wine of fine vintage, then buries him alive behind a brick wall.
Oh.
It's a lovely story. So wait, Lucien, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see if it would turn out. I wasn't actually going to leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot. But then he realized I had lied about the wine. And you were cracking maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes? Dad.
Sweet manchego.
It took you 20 minutes. Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the cask of Amontillado, and it took you 20 minutes to realize Lucien was leading to an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages and then read a review of the movie.
What?
It's only 5 pages long and there is no movie. Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucien to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me. So when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both have their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filling this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Ernest and Lucian high five. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your meditation. Excuse me. We all head up the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucian, Damien, and I all pile into my car and begin the drive home. Lucian immediately puts his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not going to therapy again. I know, son. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you, and I can see that you're struggling. So if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend the next week looking for a summer job, I know how much you want your own car. I can't believe Damien's keeping his cool. I'm impressed. Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucian continues staring out of the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright. And all things considered, Lucian's bricklaying was pretty good. So there's your silver lining. There is that, yes. He's probably just going through a phase. I really admire how you handled that. Does this kind of thing happen a lot? I don't think that's my place to say. I don't think that's his, but actually I really admire how you handled that. You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him. And I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favors. It rarely does. You're a good dad. See you around soon? It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo! What you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers, Extreme Edition. I hate this show. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made out of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watched them with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a two-bed, two-bath shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. I am not pooping outside, Greg. Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucian since he tried to... He lured Ernest down to the cellar with the promise of a fine vintage and then tried to brick him into the wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read this story except for me? Lucian live-streamed the entire thing. Oh my god. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise it was a fun day. That Damien guy is a character, but he's really good company. And a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. Date complete!
That was just bricky. Bricky as in the Victorian term for good.
So he got a rank A. I kind of feeling there's a couple of things that I kind of messed up on. But rank A is pretty good too. Let's see, recliner, automotive care, goth, Ojasuma, lots of Poe, and afternoon tea. Alright, rank A is not bad. I can go for that.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Looks like we got another notification from Matt. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for this episode of Let's Play Dream Daddy. But I hope to see you next time, where we check out the notification from Matt and also see who is the next one to date. It's either going to be Joseph or Robert. So, I hope to see you all then. Take it easy.